Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. We have got an emotional roller coaster of Chelsea news for you guys today. We have got questionable stories that I would love to hear your thoughts on in the comments. Neymar to Chelsea, it's back ladies and gentlemen. It rears its head every transfer window, but now I feel as though there's some steam puffing out of this engine here. We have got some sad stories. I told you, it's an emotional roller coaster. Nkunku is injured, and it's not looking good already. We've not even kicked a Premier League ball yet, and we're already getting ballers out injured for months on end of the season. We're going to talk Dusan Vlahovic, the guy who just still somehow gets paid a wage by Chelsea Football Club. Romelu Lukaku has come out and he's had some comments to say about himself again. This bloke, the arrogance of him, I just can't get him out of my mouth. Awfully wrong, but I don't want to talk about him, but he's just there, innit? So I've got to talk about him. I've got to talk about Caicedo. Bloody hell, I can't believe it. It's been a minute and I haven't spoken about him yet on this video. If that isn't a good enough reason to subscribe to GBFC, then make sure you do. And you lot have been going bonkers with the like ratings on videos recently. If we can hit 5,000 likes again on this video, well, I don't know what I'll do. But I'll tell you what, I'll be absolutely buzzing. Got into the office this morning, got myself a coffee, stocked up on some H2O, unfortunately in a plastic bottle, which we're trying to avoid here in Bali because there's a plastic problem. But we are going to begin today with the news surrounding Neymar. This comes from Sky Cavitt. PSG will listen to offers this summer for Neymar. Offers between 50 million and 80 million pounds, depending on who the buyer is. We know how this influences Chelsea, will be considered for the most expensive player in the world. The Messi, Mbappe, Neymar era is over as PSG build a new, younger, hungrier team. Mbappe remains formally available for sale. Why don't we just go in for a bloody double swoop then? Bring Mbappe and Neymar to Chelsea. No, we're going to talk about why now. Looking at this here, offers between 50 million and 80 million depending on who the buyer is. Well, if Chelsea go into the 50 million bracket between those two prices, then thank you very much, Paris Saint-Germain. You've just gained an ounce of respect from me. Because Chelsea, when it comes to being buying clubs, are always seen as a team, we'll just spend the money. Neymar for 80 million quid. This guy is over 30 years of age. He comes with an extensive wage bill, and it changes the whole structure. That's the negatives here. The negatives are that Neymar would cost Chelsea a lot of money. 50 to 80 million is a big fee. And also the wages. Chelsea have gone above and beyond to ensure that new signings coming into the club understand that we're not just going to throw 300 grand a week out. We did it last summer on Kalidou Koulibaly, Raheem Sterling. And we realised that we've had our pants pulled down by these players because they were nowhere near the value of that. And Romelu Lukaku is on 300 plus grand a week too. N'Golo Kante leaves on a free. We get that big wage bill off of the wage bill. But overall, if Neymar comes in, it disrupts the apple cart. It doesn't just disrupt the dressing room. But when Chelsea are spending 100 million on Enzo, yet still offering what I would consider a very fair wage in the region of around 100 grand a week, Mykhailo Mudryk, he's not even on 100 grand a week. So another left winger / number 10, see where we're going here, Neymar comes in. I just don't see a world where Neymar will accept an offer that is within the kind of financial realms that Chelsea have been pushing for with all of our recent signings. And again, it's not Neymar when he's 27. It's Neymar in his 30s. Chelsea here will be changing something that we have changed to bring it back to what it used to be, to get a player who isn't really the long-term future of Chelsea Football Club. Okay, Neymar could be here like his Brazilian counterpart until he's nearly 40. But the chances of that happening are very, very slim. I think Neymar would come to Chelsea and we'd probably get 2, maximum 3 years of him still being a top-class winger at Chelsea Football Club. I don't think it is a long-term solution. Maybe with so much youth circulating around Chelsea right now, that is a good thing. We can't forget, despite talking about Neymar's wages, how it disrupts the apple cart, he is still a world-class footballer who on his day is probably one of the best wingers in world football. There's always been rumours about Neymar going to Chelsea. Neymar's father, this is from Fabrizio Romano from PL Brazil, Neymar's father asked about request to leave Paris Saint-Germain this summer. I cannot confirm a news that did not happen. Sounds like the alternative news channel, this one. There are also rumours that Barcelona still want Neymar. Fabrice Hawkins is the person who's talked about this, saying Neymar's camper in talks with Chelsea. But Barcelona have never gone away in this conversation. Neymar has told PSG that he wants to leave this summer and rejoin Barcelona. The only issue with rejoining Barcelona is, can Barcelona afford him? Well, there's always, how do we say this? There's always leniency when it comes to Barcelona because they're Barcelona. So I'm sure there is a way that Barcelona can financially stomach this deal, feasibly get it over the line without breaking too many rules and regulations that need to be bent, twisted and ignored in order for Neymar to go back to Barcelona. If you're Neymar rejoining Barcelona, playing under Xavi, it makes sense. That's where we saw the best out of Neymar, at Barcelona. And Chelsea come in knocking on the door. It's going to have to be the kind of deal that just puts the whole Neymar team into a position where it's like, all right, well, Barcelona are going to struggle here, but Chelsea are offering you this. Now they've had an injury to Christopher Nkunku. You walk in and you can be the number 10 at Chelsea Football Club. This would make sense. I think Neymar is a player that Todd Boehly has always wanted. Todd Boehly has wanted that marquee signing. And now that Christopher Nkunku is injured, the early rumours are it's an MCL injury. This hasn't been fully clarified at this point in time, but it didn't look good. When Christopher Nkunku went off, we're all fearing the worst. And unfortunately, it looks as though Christopher Nkunku's injury will see him 100% miss the game against Liverpool on the opening game of the season, but an MCL injury could see him out for 2 to 3 months, and then you've got getting back to match fitness as well. He's going to miss a few months of this season, which, considering he's our top scorer in pre-season, is the player that I think has got so many people excited with the Jackson link-up, the Mudryk, the Maatsen link-up. Christopher Nkunku's the real deal. I was absolutely buzzing to see him in a Chelsea shirt, but now that he's injured, Chelsea are looking seriously weak going forward. So we're going to talk Dusan Vlahovic in a moment, but Neymar to come in here as a number 10, he walks straight into the first team. I say don't sleep on Carney Chukwuemeka because I certainly think he is ready to do a job for Pochettino's Chelsea this season. But Neymar to Chelsea, I've tried to balance it out here. It's Neymar. That's the main thing that gets me excited about this. And I think if he signed, I'd be absolutely buzzing. But it would depend on what Chelsea have had to do financially to bend the current rulebook at the club to make this one happen. Neymar is a player who has been known to disrupt things in the past. Nkunku's not that guy, but Nkunku isn't the guy right now because he's injured. So Chelsea are walking into the season with Nicholas Jackson only as a striker and Armando Broja unfit, who's been out for over a year. We've got a problem. We need to address it. We move to discuss Dusan Vlahovic. Now, I watched a really good video the other day from Lawrence McKenna about Dusan Vlahovic, about why he thinks Vlahovic would be the ideal striker for Chelsea to bring into the club. Not to quote Lawrence word for word here, but Vlahovic at Chelsea would offer us something that I think all of the attackers at Chelsea Football Club right now facilitate, which is a striker who loves to drop deep. He's not somebody who's just going to sit there and wait for the ball. He wants to be involved in the progressive attacking actions of the game, which I think actually fits the profile and the mould of how Mauricio Pochettino wants his striker to be. We saw it with Harry Kane. His time under Pochettino is where Harry Kane learned how to be the number 10 who drops deep, gets people involved. And with the idea of inverted wingers at Chelsea and what we saw at Tottenham, Dusan Vlahovic could be that guy. So Chelsea and Juventus have scheduled new round of talks to discuss Vlahovic and Lukaku swap deal. It will take place via intermediaries. Juve insist on €40 million fee to be included, but crucial point It's Chelsea's decision. It's up to Pochettino. Now, we've also got to add in here the caveat of Romelu Lukaku's recent comments. Chelsea's owners have tried to give Lukaku a nudge towards Saudi, but he has made it clear he is not ready for that move. He still regards himself as one of the best strikers in the world and has major ambitions. Well, unfortunately, mate, I got major ambitions as well, pal. I want to be a billionaire and I don't want to earn any of it. I just want to be given it for free. It's an ambition of mine. I tell you what, this bloke, man, he gets me riled up. Every time I see his name and it's still associated with Chelsea Football Club, I literally just, my blood boils. It absolutely boils. I've never, ever in my life disliked a player playing for Chelsea as much as I do Romelu Lukaku. To consider yourself as one of the best strikers in the world still, like, what is this guy on? Chelsea don't want you. Inter Milan don't want you. I don't really know if Juventus want you either, or are they just trying to create some kind of blockbuster story to get Lukaku there and not Inter Milan to make Serie A a little bit more relevant? I don't know. Romelu Lukaku is still a Chelsea player, and I think now that Christopher Nkunku has been injured and he's going to miss the start of the season, I think Chelsea are going to push now to sign Dusan Vlahovic. I think the Neymar thing is one of those which would be probably more of a club signing than Pochettino actually going out of his way to make this one happen. So with this Nkunku news, I think we're going to hear something a bit more official from Chelsea today. You guys are obviously watching this first thing in the morning UK time on Tuesday. I think Chelsea are going to give some kind of announcement here to the expected return date of Christopher Nkunku. What actually is this injury? Is it the MCL that everybody is talking about at this moment in time? I think Vlahovic, after I watched that video from Lawrence McKenna, not saying that Lawrence McKenna is the gospel truth lord here of YouTube football, but he does know what he's talking about. He's done extensive research. And I'll be quite honest with you, at this moment in time, I want players that Pochettino wants at Chelsea. I want to back Pochettino with absolutely everything that we've got here. And at the moment, the Vlahovic, the swap deal with Lukaku, just to get that bloody geezer off of our books too, I'm absolutely all for it. We now talk 13 odd minutes into this video about Moises Caicedo. The information yesterday was that because he didn't play and wasn't in the squad against Rayo Vallecano for Brighton on Sunday, the news was, is he gonna train? He didn't bloody train, ladies and gentlemen. And if this isn't, I've handed in my transfer request, I don't know what is. If you pull yourself out of the game, and then on the Monday morning, you're still having a little jolly somewhere with your bottle of water because it's nearly the start of the football season, Caicedo didn't even train on Monday. So now, yet again, in this saga, which is literally crawling like a caterpillar with no legs towards the finish line, right? Chelsea and Caicedo. How is this deal still not being done? The talks are the same. Chelsea is still preparing the final bid. Is it going to be the final bid? Or is Caicedo going to be left to rot in the Brighton reserves? Jacob Steinberg has said here, as reported elsewhere, Moises Caicedo absent at Brighton training today. Expectation remains he ends up at Chelsea, but it will take at least 100 million. I think when players aren't playing in the games, they're not showing up for training, right? Brighton here are in a position where this guy is starting to make things a bit toxic for Brighton. He's starting to make things uncomfortable to the point where Chelsea have been reluctant so far to spend 100 million. So now we need to get a bid in here. Chelsea need to get a bid in where Brighton will receive around 90 million pounds, 85 plus add-ons, maybe 90 million plus a couple of million in add-ons. This, I think, should be enough now with the fuss that Caicedo's kicking up for us to be able to get our man. And we've also, if we want him to be in the squad for the game against Liverpool at the weekend, I think we've got to register him by late Thursday night or Friday, something like that. So at this point in time, Chelsea, just get the bid in, all right? Caicedo has done everything at this point, apart from like physically go and deliver his dossier to Tony Bloom and being like, look, bruv, I've got 120 dead trees here in my hand trying to tell you why I just want out, okay? Like, you could write a novel about why playing for Chelsea is a better idea than playing for Brighton. He's not going to do that because he's a professional footballer. He don't have the time for that unless he gets a ghostwriter. Chelsea, move. Get a bloody move on, mate. You know, like, just buy the bloke. Just buy him. We know he's a top target. We need him. We need him. In defensive midfield, Chelsea also remain confident on closing David Washington deal this week, as Santos are expected to accept €20 million final bid. David wants to join Chelsea. Plan is to loan him to Strasbourg right after. Keep an eye on this, by the way, because Chelsea spending €20 million on a striker. We heard rumours about 30 million for Eli Wahi of Montpellier about a week ago, a couple of weeks ago. This has been like doing the rumour mill for a while now. Christopher Nkunku, if he is out for, let's say, worst case scenario, 3 or 4 months here until he's back to full fitness. We're talking Christmas before we get to see Nkunku. And we've only got Jackson and Broja at the club. Is there a way here that Chelsea don't get a Neymar to come in as a number 10 replacement? They don't get a Dusan Vlahovic who can come in, play as a striker, to give Nicholas Jackson that support? Is there a way that we see one of these 18-year-olds that we're buying just come in and just have a spot in the squad? I kind of hope it isn't, but at the same time, when you're spending €20 million on an 18-year-old Brazilian, who knows? If Vitor Roque goes to bloody Barcelona, he's going to be in their squad. So let's just wait and see with this kind of deal. The final news, we're going to talk about Roy Hodgson's comments here. Hodgson on Chelsea/City interested in Olise. No one knows at this moment. Cheers, Roy. If there are clubs desperately/seriously preparing a bid and tempting him, then he'll decide, told Sky. I can only wait and see what decision is he will make. He knows we want to keep him. This Olise story, I think, is about bids coming in. He's got a release clause. That's been confirmed. If Chelsea want Olise, he doesn't really solve anything right now. The issue we have today is that Nkunku is missing the start of the season. So today, the issue is we need a player to come in today. Olise will also miss the start of the season because he has a hamstring injury. Is Olise the target? Is Olise the guy that we go for? Or, after all of the things we've been talking about for near the last 18 minutes, do Chelsea express interest again in Rayan Cherki, a player who comes in, immediately fits in as an option as a number 10? Or Kane Chukwuemeka, is this his time? Is he going to be given the nod? Pochettino backs him. He's had good things to say about him so far this season. What a Chelsea news video this has been. So many things to discuss here. And I think over the course of the next day, 2 days, 3 days before that Liverpool game, we're going to see things develop. So make sure you are subscribed here to the George Benson Football Channel. There will likely be another video today and maybe another news video as well. So 2 more vids coming your way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Come on, you Blues.